What's up, everyone? Welcome back to After the Storm, and as you guys can see, we are back with the second episode of The Last Dance, a Pittsburgh Penguins franchise mode. So I did a little bit more tweaking just before starting the episode. I adjusted everybody's equipment, built new pads for Fleury, so his whole, equipment set is kind of proper. It's based off this year, but obviously with a Pittsburgh tweak on it. And for that, the yellow pads are back. I set up the power play units and the 3-on-3 trios. And I also made sure that our coach was the best chemistry we could possibly get, which he actually was. Usually you're able to kind of just like fire your head coach or reassign him within your team. Usually I fire a goalie coach in the AHL and then move everybody around. And then hire an assistant coaches typically. Like, they won't be good overall, but they are typically, you can find high 60s to 70s for, scheme fit chemistry. But it actually turns out that of all the coaches available right now, our coach is actually the best. He's rated at 68% fit. So he's our best chemistry value as of right now. But before we get going, of course, in real life with this mode, this is obviously based off Jim Rutherford leaving, and when I started it and had the idea to, they obviously didn't have a GM. Now they do. Ron Hextall coming over his previous job with the Flyers, and before that the LA Kings. And joining him, Sportsnet's Brian Burke, going into a president of hockey operations role. I want to play something, so it's going to come over the screen here, and I want to play something for you guys. Just an audio/video thing that I found on Twitter from earlier today.
The rest of the hockey community sees that. So how are you bringing the pieces in to help Sidney Crosby win that Stanley Cup in the next 2 to 3 years? So for me, it's all about this season. If the Pittsburgh Penguins were to miss the playoffs this year, I think it's a real tough conversation for Ron Hextall, Brian Burke, and Crosby and company in the offseason. And it wouldn't shock me at all if Sid said, look, I want my legacy to be you collected the pieces, based on moving me to the Colorado Avalanche or the New York Rangers or whatever the team is. Colorado makes a lot of sense to me, by the way, but that are going to really jumpstart a rebuild to make this team a contender in the next 5 years.
So that is a recording from @NickQuebec on Twitter, just talking about what happens from Darren Dreger's perspective, of his opinion of what's going to happen if Ron Hextall, Brian Burke aren't able to make the playoffs with the Pittsburgh Penguins this year. I thought that was really interesting to what we're doing, and I kind of wanted to take that direction. Of course, this will be a developing story, so I might update it based on what happens in real-life events. But as of right now, I'm going to go with the notion that if we cannot, in this mode, get ourselves to the playoffs, at least, and if we lose in the first round or very badly in the second round or anything of that nature with this team, I'll say it right now, the end of the season, we will trade Sidney Crosby. That is a huge onus to put on myself because, again, we're only going to play about 17 or 18 of the regular season games. So at best, if I go perfect in all those, I get 36 points in the standings, and then it's up to the rest of the team in those simulated games to figure out and, win everything else. But I wanted to put that out there because we're trying to do this realistic. So this absolutely could end up being a series where we actually play through 3 years and watch as Crosby solidifies his legacy and gets more cups if we're able to. But on the other side, this could be a mode where we simply watch as we do a rebuild. And honestly, if that's the case, that's not really what the series will be about. It won't really be about our rebuild. It's going to be about watching Crosby, Malkin, and Letang's careers if they are to leave Pittsburgh. So we really do have like an open path for what this series will turn into, which just makes it a lot more fun and a lot, it could be changing. It could change at all these different points as we progress through it. So I wanted to address that off the top because, we might end up trading Crosby at the end of this season. Because if that's Sid's prerogative, if he wants to go win, he wants to be contending with the team, and if that team is the New York Rangers or the Colorado Avalanche, we'll make that trade happen. But for now, we are at episode number 2. We are going to start our very first game of the season against the Washington Capitals on the road. There's not a whole lot to go over. If you guys caught the first episode, you'll know the line combinations. I set up the power play units which aren't very different from our top two lines anyways. So there isn't much to go over. So what we're going to do, we're going to just jump right into it, guys. We'll get going on the very first game of the series against the Washington Capitals. So that does it for the second, and because this is a preseason game, I'm going to use that as a great feeler for the team heading into the season. But yeah, I'm going to quit out of this because obviously this game doesn't matter. It's nice to get 2 periods in, but yeah, I did not realize this was a preseason game that I was playing. I just definitely thought we started the season against the Caps, which we might still, but I'm going to quit out, let the rest of the thing simulate through the preseason, and then we'll take a look. We'll sim the first 5 games of the season, and then we'll play number 6 in episode number 3. So we've simmed up through the preseason, and now we are at the actual regular season. I totally thought we were playing the regular season opener, but it's all good. Not a big worry here, but we'll just simulate this one to get through and make sure that we get back on track to how many episodes that we're supposed to have and all that kind of stuff. But so what we're going to do is we're going to sim the first 5 games. I'll just kind of go through period by period increments. I don't think we'll do anything. We might jump in and watch an overtime period and a shootout if there is one or something like that in the simulated games, but we're not going to do too much of that. Hopefully just to keep the episodes a little bit shorter for everybody. But yeah, if there's an overtime and a shootout and we want to go in and watch it, we'll go in and watch it. But otherwise, we're just going to sim and break down who's scoring and all that kind of stuff and keep a track of it, after the game. So simulating the first game of the season now against the Caps. At the end of 1-1 the score, 12-7 the shots in favor of us. Brian Little gets his first as a Penguin. Lars Eller gets his first of the season for the Caps. Simulating through the second period, no goals in that one, but the shots remain in our favor, 21-15. And as we finish out the third period here, 4-2 the Capitals win in the season opener. We ended up not really having that many shots. I think we only had 7 in that final period to 12 for the Caps. The Capitals, of course, scoring 3 goals as well in this period. Carl Hagelin, Tom Wilson, and John Carlson added an empty netter. And on our side, Sidney Crosby gets his first of the season on Ilya Samsonov. But a 4-2 loss and a tough loss to open up our season. Simulating through the first period of our matchup against Detroit, no goals on the board as of yet. 14-6 the shots in favor of us. Through the second period, 1-0 score, 25-18 the shots. Cody Ceci, of all players on this team, getting his first of the season on Thomas Greiss. So we finish the third period tied 2-2, but I do want to go through what happened in this period. Crosby with a goal about the midway mark to put us up 2-0. Then with a minute 31 remaining, Moritz Seider, he gets his first, I'm assuming his first, of the season. And then Tyler Bertuzzi, 10 seconds later, ties the game up. So we blew a 2-0 lead in the final moments of this game. And given that we've got a overtime period, we'll jump in and watch. We're not going to play, we'll just watch. So here we go. Whole lot of board play. Crosby up front. Oh, big stop by Greiss. Now the Red Wings come back the other way. Oh, good chances. Oh, big stop by Fleury. Another big stop by Fleury. Go Crosby and Kapanen. Oh, big stop by Greiss too. There's a whistle. Yeah, and these are the games against a team like Detroit. We were up 2-0 with a minute and a half to go in this one. Those are the ones you want to win. Ooh, go Malkin, go. Go. Oh, Marino, what a chance. Good. Oh, another one in front. Man, it's been a good overtime period. Can't score yet, though. I find the goalies in the game as well, when you're playing in overtime, are just so good. Like, a 3-on-3 situation is typically very disadvantageous to a goaltender, but in this one they are always seemingly great. Oh, off the post. I think that's Rasmussen, yeah. Go, good pass out by Mate Gensel. Ooh, tough, made that move. Ooh, good stop by Fleury again. Turnover there by Kapanen. Zadina comes in. Ooh. Get that puck back. Maybe one last chance. Zadina shoots it wide. Uh-oh. Oh, good stop by Fleury. All right, one last chance. Let's go, Crosby. Oh, yeah. Not a great chance, so we're going to head to a shootout in game number 2 of the season against Detroit. Again, this is a tough one for us. We blew a 2-0 lead with a minute and a half left against the Red Wings, so we definitely want to get to the shootout and get a win in this one. The shots actually finished up 40-37 in favor of the Red Wings in this one, so a very, very good goaltending performance from Marc-Andre Fleury here as he faces Larkin on the first shot, and Larkin puts it wide. Sid up first in the shootout for us. Come on, Sid. Oh, and it slid in. Perfect. Nice. Got that one to squeak through Grice. We're up 1-0 in the shootout. Oh, yeah, that just snuck through. Samantha. Oh, that's a good move. Beats Fleury pretty clean on that one. All right, Gino, let's do this. Oh, wide of the net. So we're all tied heading into the third round. Let's see who's going to come up for Detroit. It's going to be Robbie Fabry. Big stop by Flower. Gensel can win it. Oh, big stop by Grice. So Tyler Bertuzzi, you tied it up at 2:10 seconds after the Sider goal earlier. Big stop by Fleury again. That one was a little bit easier, but really weird angle that Bertuzzi came in on there. Letang. Oof, good stop. So I think we're going to round 5? 4? No, I think we're just entering round 5. Who's up for Detroit? Looks like Zadina. Another good stop by Fleury. Alright, who's up? Who can win it? Brian Little. Oh, beat him 5-hole. We get the win, 3-2 in the shootout. Take a look at this one again. Yeah, just opened Grice up and then slid it 5-hole. That's a great goal. Didn't really get a good look at that second angle, but we'll take it, a 3-2 win against Detroit. So the third star of the game was Cody Ceci. The second star of the game, Thomas Grice. I'm assuming our first star, of course, Marc-Andre Fleury, who had a .950 save percentage. Just a phenomenal goaltending performance from him in this one. So we're simulating here against Vegas. Of course, Fleury, I'm not sure if he's actually in for this one, of course, because the game will flip the goaltenders here and there. But he is facing his former team for the first time as he's come back to Pittsburgh. So through the first period, no goals. Very even period, 12-8 the shots so far. Through the second period, much more the same, 24-17 the shots, still 0-0 though. So the game finishes a 1-0 loss. We outshot Vegas 37-26, but Alex Tuck with a late third period goal sealed this one for the Golden Knights. And that was Tuck's first of the season. So far a 1-2-0 start. We've got that win against Detroit in the shootout, the loss in the opener to Washington Capitals 4-2, and then the Vegas one here 1-0, which is tough. Really, when our team is very offense heavy, I would say Crosby, Malkin, all these guys being on the team right now. But we get another crack at Detroit here, and this is more like it. Through the first period, outshot Detroit 14-8, and we're up 3-1. Crosby 2 goals. He's got 4 on the year. He's got a goal in not every game so far, but goal per game pace. And Jared McCann, I believe, has his first of the season. As we get through the second period here, another couple goals on each side, actually. Brian Rust has 2 himself, and then Robbie Fabry has 2 for himself through the second period as we take a 5-3 lead into the third. So the game finishes 5-4. We ended up holding on. Anthony Mantha, halfway through the third period, got a goal in this one too. So it looks like everybody scored in pairs this game. Actually, Jared McCann is the outlier. He's the only player who didn't. But we'll take a look as we do a full wrap-up of some of the stats in this one. So Crosby gets his third and fourth. Sevier, Bluger, a couple or assist on one of them. Gensel, Pettersson on the other one. McCann, his first from Rodriguez and Bennett. So that fourth line, a couple of these fourth line guys filtering in here and there. Weird that I'm seeing a lot of weird combinations like Sevier and Bluger. Assisting on a Crosby goal seems weird to me. Must have been during a line change. Russ gets his first and second, both assisted by Malkin. And then on the Detroit side, Fabry gets his first and second of the season, and Mantha gets his fourth and fifth. He's had a really hot start to their season. The solid win, obviously not our goaltending performance we would desire, but a win is a win nonetheless. So heading into our last simulated game of this episode, up against the 2-2-1 St. Louis Blues. Of course, we are 2-2 as well. Crosby 4 goals on the season so far. So hopefully we can get out of the first episode above 500. That's a nice little benchmark for us as we continue to improve. And of course the next episode is going to feature a game against the reigning Stanley Cup champion Tampa Bay Lightning. So after the first period in this one, we have a 2-0 lead. Outshot 12-10 though. John Marino, his first of the season. I believe that's Gensel's first of the season as well. In the second period, wow, did St. Louis go off for shots. I believe that's 21 in the period to just 6 for us. So a very offense-heavy period for the St. Louis Blues. They get a goal from Vince Dunn, so a 2-1 lead heading into the third. Jake Gensel added an empty net goal to make it a 3-1 win, but I'm not sure who was in the net. If this is Fleury in this game, let's take a look. Does appear it was Marc-Andre Fleury. He stopped 42 of 43. A bit of an alarming trend over the first few games here, as I'm noticing a lot of shots on goal. I think we've been over 30 in every game we've played so far. Fleury faced 40 plus in the Detroit shootout win as well. So this is tough. I mean, that is a sign that our defense is just not that great at this moment, as there might be a lot of games like this season. But nevertheless, we come out with a 3-1 win. Marino, his first of the season. Gensel, his first and second of the season in this one. And Vince Dunn got his first as well in the second period here. But a solid 3-1 win. A great goaltending performance from Marc-Andre Fleury. And as we come out of this one, Marcus Pettersson is out with a concussion. Estimated return of November 18th. So he's probably going to be out for about 3 total weeks. So substituting into the lineup for Pettersson in the interim is Juuso Riikola. He's one of our scratch defensemen. Actually, one of our 2, Chad Roweedle being the other one. And then, of course, we still have Chandler Stevenson here if a forward does get injured. But Riikola comes in, no difference in the line chemistry stuff. I'm not sure. Riikola is a 2-way defender listed. He's a little bit more offensive, I believe, in real life. So him and Marino should work pretty much just as well as Pettersson did. Of course, not easy to see somebody go down. He's going to be out about a month, 3 or 4 weeks at least, but obviously not what you want early on. Don't want those injuries too much, but it's good that it's not a post-concussion syndrome where he'd be out 3 or 4 months. He's going to be back within the month, and of course we have players in place to fill these gaps. But anyways, the main thing out of the first 5 simulated games here, of course this is the only time we will simulate all 5. One good note is that we are above 500 coming out of them. Crosby, of course, having a really solid start to the season, as we'll take a look at some of the stats here. Gensel, 2 goals, 3 assists. And everybody else really just chipping in a little bit here and there. Letang, no points. Dumoulin, no points so far. But, Malkin not, having a great start so far. Little, very quiet. But the top line is getting stuff done. Obviously, Kapanen is kind of the one that's been out. He's just got 2 assists so far on the season. But a great start for Crosby, a great start for Gensel. And that's 2 players that are going to help. They're going to have to carry us to get us to the playoffs. And Fleury starting all 5 games because we literally haven't had a back-to-back yet. Not sure if I will put Jari in for the Tampa game, but hopefully he gets mixed in soon. But really here, these 2 things right here is what we really want to highlight here. Coming out of the first 5 games, a .934 save percentage is great. A .217 goals against is also great. So it's really good to see that Fleury is starting hot this season. And hopefully you can keep this play up. I mean, anything above like a 920 would just be spectacular. So anyways, guys, that's going to do it for episode number 2. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hit that like button down below. Subscribe to the channel, as probably that'll be once a week this episode will come out. In between doing everything else in life. That's pretty much all I've got time for. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like the video down below. Subscribe to the channel. Comment away. And as always, I will see you guys on the next one.